Ken, back again with another early morning, late night, whatever it is for you, live. And today I got something really exciting that I want to talk about. And it's this. What if I told you that everything that you need, everything that you think that you're missing, everything that is required for you to be successful in this life, what if I told you you already had it? What if I told you that everything that you needed to possess, everything that you needed to conquer, everything that you needed to implement, all of the skills, the love, the desires that you want, that you need to be successful, you already have them. They're already inside of you. The problem is, for most of us, we don't know how to find it. We don't know what it looks like because we don't understand what our calling is, if you will. And I use the word calling, but I'm not sure that that's the good word for it. So maybe I'll change that up as I continue talking. But I've been going through this book called the Purple Book, the Purple Book, and I'm going through this book for church because I'm helping to teach a discipleship class at church, and this week I'm on the chapter that talks about spiritual gifts. It talks about what the gifts of the spirit are, and it's really been refreshing because it really helped me to understand a lot of things. Now, for those of you who know me personally, those of you who maybe follow me on my personal Facebook or Instagram or any of those channels, you know that I'm a gardener. We have tomatoes, we got cucumbers, we got watermelons, we got all these different plants out there that we're growing so that we can eat off of them, right? But the cool thing about the fruits is that they already have everything that they need to be the fruit tree or the plant that they're supposed to be, right? My tomato already has everything that it needs to grow another tomato. I don't have to do anything to it. You know, you could drop a tomato in the dirt, in the ground, and leave it alone, come back to it a couple of months later, and you be in or actually a couple of weeks later in some cases, and you'll have a brand new tree growing up. And I think that is so cool that God in his infinite wisdom, he put everything that was needed for, tomatoes, cucumbers, trees, apple trees, orange trees, for all those different things for them to just naturally grow and become the thing that they're meant to be. And then I started thinking about this. If he did that for them, did he not do that for us? Did he not put the seed in us that we're supposed to use to bring forth the gifts that he gave to us and share them with the world? And I think that he did. So I want you to think about it like this, right? Everybody has some type of gift. You can be a great speaker, you may be a great teacher, you may be a great listener. You may not think that's a spiritual gift, but somebody's a listener. What is it that you can do with the skills and with the desires and the loves and the passions that you already have that can help to build your business, to build your life, to give you a better life, to make a better life for your children, right? And I think it's just it's 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 mind blowing, I guess. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just simple minded. Maybe I get excited over things that most people don't get excited over. But I just find that it is so cool that each and every one of us already has a seed of inspiration, a seed of success already planted in us, and we have to learn how to identify the seed, how to nurture the seed, and how to allow that seed to grow. The problem for us, unlike the fruit trees or unlike my tomato plants, is that we have free will and we can decide to not do the thing that we're supposed to be doing. Even though that seed is already in us, it is easy for us to get caught up and sidetracked and become something that we're not meant to be, right? My cucumber plant can't be a tomato plant. My tomato plant can't be a rose bush. It just doesn't work like that. It has no choice but to be a tomato. My cucumber has no choice but to give me cucumbers. And we have no choice but to bear fruit. Now we either gonna bear good fruit or bad fruit. And so I wanted to pull up a couple of scriptures, right? This is, I guess you can call this gonna be like a little bit of a Bible study, but it's business related. So I want you to understand that this is this is business related. But think about it like in In John 15, Jesus gave this whole story about the vine, and how, you know, well, I'm gonna just read it. Okay, he says, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that does not bear fruit, that does bear fruit, he prunes." That's the key right there. They that it may bear fruit. Now listen to this, right? Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. So when you got a gift and you don't use the gift gets taken away from you. And like, Vunny and I, we got some strawberries over there. We got this one strawberry bush. We've had this strawberry bush for like going on 3 years now. And for some reason I keep holding on to it because I keep thinking that it's gonna give us some strawberries. This is probably the most beautiful strawberry bush that we have in our garden. Gives a lot of lush green vegetation. Never gives us any strawberries, y'all. 3 years we have gotten no strawberries off of this strawberry bush. So we're at the point this year where Vonnie said if it doesn't give us anything, we're getting rid of it because that's taking up space and resources that we could be putting into the other ones that are giving us something. And I couldn't argue with her on that, right? But I thought that it was ironic because it says that every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes. I prune, right? I go out and I prune the leaves on my tomato plants because I want them to give more fruit. I prune the leaves on my cucumber plant because I want them to give more fruit, bigger fruit, tastier fruit. The more you cut off the dead leaves, the more nutrients, or the sick leaves, the more nutrients that will go to your plant. So, or to your fruit. So, I just think it's funny that Jesus decided to use this as a parable when we're talking to the disciples, right? To talk about what it means to bear fruit. It says, "Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me." My tomato can't give me a tomato without being attached to the tomato plant. I like, it doesn't work like that, right? In your business, you can't give good fruit unless you're connected to the source of the business, right? If you're a plumber and you don't have any people to give you business, you won't have any fruit. If you're a real estate investor, if you're a wholesaler and you aren't connected to a network of individuals who can help you to navigate through the real estate market, then it's going to be hard for you to bear fruit. If you're a realtor and you aren't connected, and matter of fact, realtors are a good point because realtors have to put their license with a brokerage. That brokerage is like the vine for them, right? If they're not connected to the vine, it's harder for them to bear good fruit. Being connected to the vine allows them to bear good fruit, right? So even for us as real estate investors, tomorrow morning or here in a couple of hours, Bunny and I are going to be getting up and going to a networking event that happens on every Tuesday morning. And we don't go every Tuesday, but because we're connected to this group of investors, because we're connected to these individuals, we get to bear better fruit because they're the vine. That's the vine that we get to go in and soak up nutrients. We get to soak up energy from them and use that in our business to grow our business. So I really thought that it was cool. And then it goes on to say that if you're not connected to the vine, that you'll wither away, right? If your business is not connected to the vine, it withers away. If your business is not in good soil, connected to a solid vine that is getting healthy nutrients and good sunlight, it will wither away. Some of us don't get past the seedling stage, which is like the small plant, right? When you put the plant in the ground and it first pops up, that's the seedling. Some of us can never get our business past the seedling phase because we don't have the adequate nutrition to grow it. We don't have enough sunlight to grow it. You don't have enough people around you to water you. You don't have enough people around you to fertilize you. You got to get people around you who can help water and fertilize you and help you to bring forth good fruit. So, you know, And so that was John 15, right? John 15, verse 1. And if you get a chance, go read that. John 15, verse 1 through 11 is a good parable that Jesus used to talk about the connection between him, the Father, the vine, and the fruit, right? We are the fruit. Believe it or not, y'all, we are fruit. Did y'all know that? A fruit is something that bears its own seed inside of it. I am a carrier of seed. You are a carrier of seed. Like, we make children and offspring because we have seed inside of us that when pollinated, man and woman come together, we pollinate, and then we bring forth fruit in the form of children, right? We are fruit that bear seed, and we bring good fruit when we stay connected to the vine, i.e., Jesus, and we bring not so good fruit or bad fruit when we're not connected to the vine, i.e., Jesus. And I just thought that was really cool. So I'm gonna move on, right? So one of the things I wanted to talk about, though, not so much just the ideal of fruit, but I wanted to talk about spiritual gifts. And what does the spiritual gift mean when it comes down to your business? How does that affect your business? Is it even relevant for your business? Can your spiritual gifts help you to build your business? And I think that the answer to that is yes, right? So first we have to talk about what is a spiritual gift. So let me pull that up for you guys real quick. So for anybody who may not know, let me go over that. It says, but well, let's talk about the fruit of the spirit first, and then we'll get to the spiritual gifts, right? So the fruit of the spirit says, but the fruit, and this is in Galatians chapter 5, and I'm going down to verse 22. It says, but the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Um, Against such things there are no laws, right? So that's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. If we learn how to take these fruit of the spirit, these are the fruit of the spirit. Now, understand this: you can't have a fruit of the spirit unless you have the spirit, because the fruit comes from the spirit. This is like the ideal of the vine, right? Like I said in John 15, Jesus talked about the vine. And the vine, you have the branch has to be connected to the vine in order for the branch to bring forth fruit. So you have to be connected to the spirit in order for these fruit of the spirit to actually flow, right? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. If we learn how to take these fruit of the spirit and practice them in our business, you'll be surprised how fast your business will grow, right? If every time that you met someone, if every time you met a new client, you went and you met them with love, with joy, with peace, with patience, with kindness. As real estate investors, especially as wholesalers, right? Let's talk about wholesalers for a minute. Wholesalers have gotten a bad reputation over the last couple of years because as a profession, we are not known for being loving. We're not known for being joyful. Kind of like this guy in my comments right now, not whoever this is, not being very loving, but that's neither here nor there. Uh, we're not being peaceful. Sometimes we're not patient. We want people to sell their property to us right now. We think they're supposed to do it our way. We don't show kindness because we don't approach people with the desire to understand what they're going through. A person going through foreclosure that's about to lose their house. If you can approach them with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, you'll be amazed at how not only how many more deals you'll get done, but how many more people you will help. And I'm a firm believer that that real estate, all business is service based, right? Regardless of what business you're in, you're serving someone, believe it or not. And but we're called to be servants. We are, and we don't like that word sometimes, but we're all called to be servants. And the more that we serve people and the more that we go looking to assist people and help people, the more business we get. It's just plain simple. Like there's no sugarcoating it. The more you help people, the more business that will come your way automatically, because people like doing business with people that make them feel good. For one, people don't mind sharing you with other people, because if you made me feel good, that means you can make my loved one feel good. You can make my friend feel good. You can help them out because you helped me out. So just being able to practice these fruit of the spirit could astronomically grow some of our businesses. Okay, just think about that. So go back and look at, that's Galatians 5, and look at those fruits of the spirit, and ask yourself, how can I as a willing vessel, how can I bring forth better fruit? How can I bring forth better fruit of the spirit? And one of the things is to make sure that you're being fertilized. Don't get yourself around people who cannot give you what you need to give out. Okay, and I'm not saying you got to cut people off, but if you're around a bunch of people who are not loving, who are not joyful, who are not peaceful, who are not patient, who are not kind, who are not good, who are not faithful, who are not gentle, who don't practice self control, it is going to be harder for you to do those things. Because, like they say, birds of a feather do tend to flock together. Don't be the bird that's flocking around with the other dodo birds and wondering why you still a dodo bird. You don't want to be a dodo bird. Don't hang out with the dodo birds. And I'm not saying that you got to, again, I'm not saying you got to cut people off. You take that how you want to take it. I'm just giving you the advice that I am using for myself, and the advice that I think can help some of my loved ones, some of my friends, and you guys out there. So, fruits of the spirit. We really need to meditate on that. Meditate on that. And then there's the gifts, the spiritual gifts. And I thought that this was good too. So in Romans 12, there's a part where they talk about the gifts of grace. And Um, let me go down here and find it. I think it's in, so it's Romans chapter 12, verse 6 says, having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, let us use them. If prophecy, in proportion to your faith. If service, in our service. The one who teaches, in his teaching. The one who exalts, in his exaltation, the one who contributes in generosity, the one who leads with zeal, the one who does acts of mercy with cheerfulness. Now, what does that mean? That sounds like a bunch of words to some people, mate, right? So let's go back, right? If prophecy, in proportion to our faith, you can only prophesy about the things that you have complete faith in. Otherwise, you're just telling a lie. A prophecy is meant to be truth, and you have to have full faith in what you're prophesying about. If you're the person who's going out talking to people about the real estate market and what you see the new trends are, but you have not done any research, or you don't have any real faith in what you're talking about, it's going to be hard for you to prophesy and to get me to understand what you're coming from with that, right? And again, these are spiritual gifts from God, but these are spiritual gifts that can help us to propel our business, right? When you're going into the marketplace and you're talking to people about what your company, what your business has to offer, you're prophesying. You're prophesying to someone about what it is that your business can either do for them as an individual, or what your business could do for their business, right? You either doing A to B, or what is it, A to B or B to C, when it comes down to business. You're either going from your business to an individual, or you going from your business to another visual business, typically. And when you're doing that, you're prophesying. When I go out and I give a projection on what I think the return on one of my investment properties is going to be, I'm prophesying, and I have to have full faith in the fact that my business is going to bring forth the results that I'm saying that they're going to bring forth. And if I lack the faith, then my prophecy is going to lack as well. If service, in our serving, right? If service, in our serving. If your spiritual gift is service, then you know I think it's funny because there's a book called The Five Love Languages, and if you haven't read The Five Love Languages, definitely check it out. It's a really good book. I think it can save a lot of marriages. But in The Five Love Languages, it talks about how we talk our love languages. And for me, I'm acts of service, right? That is my love language. I'm an acts of service guy. And when I feel like I'm not being loved, the first thing I do is I take my service away. And I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it. It's something that I know about myself now, and I work on that. But that was something that I did not know, that I take my service away when I felt like I was being wronged or mistreated, because that was my love language. Well, if your spiritual gift is service, then the only way that you can show your spiritual gift is through your serving, through your serving of others, right? So again, when it comes down to your business, we're all in service-based businesses. Even when I'm going out into the market looking for a real estate deal to buy, I'm looking for a house to buy, I'm performing a service for the person who's looking to sell that property, because they want to sell either fast, they want to sell for the top dollar. I'm providing that service to them. At that point, right? When I flip a house and I get ready to sell it to a homeowner, I am providing a service. I am providing someone with a home that they can either raise their family in, or that they can turn into an income producing property, right? That is a service. That is a service that I'm giving that person, and I should perform that service to the best of my abilities, because if I am a person whose spiritual gift is serving, then I have the capability to do that. And if I do anything outside of that, I'm not living up to what my capabilities are, right? And then the next one is teaching. The one who teaches in his teaching. If you're a person who teaches people how to do something, teachers in general, right? Teachers love you guys. I could not be a school teacher. Just not. I'm not built like that. But I love teaching. I love talking on here. When I was in the Marine Corps, I loved teaching. Right? I loved teaching the new guy how to work on aircraft. I love teaching you how to navigate a difficult situation or a difficult problem. I love teaching you how to perform under pressure. That was something that I really, really, really enjoyed doing. And I still enjoy it. I still enjoy getting on here, talking to you guys, sharing some insights, some knowledge that I got. I don't really call myself teaching. I'm just sharing insight. I'm sharing knowledge. I'm sharing things that I've done in my business. So I don't consider myself teaching, but because I know that I'm sharing information with you guys, I make sure that I go and do my research before I come on here and start talking, because I want to make sure that the information that I'm giving you is truth, right? And so if your spiritual gift is teaching, then make sure that you are teaching. Don't hoard information. Don't what is it? Don't be stingy with it. If you know that your spiritual gift and what God has put in your heart is to be a teacher, and that you love teaching people, teach people. Teach people. Teach everybody that you can. And you know that you're a teacher because you'll find yourself teaching people stuff and telling people about something that you learn in the most random places. And if that's what you do, then hey, then your spiritual gift is in your teaching. If you aren't teaching anybody and you know that that's your spiritual gift, you know that's what you're good at, you know that's something you're passionate about, you're not living up to your purpose. And all of these things add up to purpose. So we're going to get to that in a minute. But all right, it talked about, if the one who exalts in his exaltation. If you're a person who are good at giving praises to people, you're good at building people up, making people feel good, that is your spiritual gift. And believe it or not, that is needed. People need someone to be their motivator, somebody to help champion them to get to the next level of their life, of their business, whatever it is. So if that's something that you know that you're good at, then do that. Generosity is in the person who no, it says the one who contributes in generosity. If you're a contributor, right? You Then be generous. Don't be stingy. Don't hold back. Be generous. Be generous, because the more generous you are, the more you receive. The one who leads with zeal. That means that I can be a leader without being a tyrant. And it's funny because, and again, in the Marine Corps, anybody who may have seen Full Metal Jacket, you know that Marine Corps boot camp is difficult, right? They say pain is pain leaving the body. They break you down to build you up. All of those things are true about Marine Corps boot camp. But the one thing that you learn is that great leaders in any organization, especially in the military, are the people who are able to lead with zeal. They're the people who are able to lead you without belittling you, without making you feel like you're nothing. I don't have to make you feel like you're nothing, but I can lead you, still have my place of authority, but still be that teacher that you need, still be that mentor that you need me to be. And in your business, that's something that we have to learn how to do. You are a leader. If you have a business, you are a leader. If you work at a business, you are a leader. The Marine Corps taught me that if there's two or more people together, one person has to be the leader. Otherwise, where are you going? It's the blind leading the blind. So somebody's always the leader. If you're a business owner, if you are again, like I'm mostly talking about real estate because that's what I do. And if you're a real estate professional and you work with more than one person, somebody has to be the leader. Bunny and I, husband and wife team, we work together 24/7. She sleep right now because she's an early she falls asleep early. I'm a night owl, I'm up late. But at any given time, who's in charge and who's leading switches. She's leading sometimes. I have to learn how to be a good follower. When I'm leading, she's a great follower. So what that does though is that helps our business and it helps our mental health, because that's something that's big right now. It helps that stay regulated because we're able to share the load, but because we're able to lead each other with zeal, we're able to lead each other with tenderness, with kindness, with those. Well, again, let's go back to with those fruit of the spirit. We're able to practice that in our leadership, and because we're able to practice that in our leadership, it makes it that much better. It makes things that much more efficient. And then it said, for the one who does acts of mercy with cheerfulness. And you know nobody likes for somebody to give them something and not be cheerful about it. Like, you ever had somebody give you a gift, but they was reluctant to give you the gift, or they gave you the gift, but then they talked about how they wish they hadn't have gave you gift, or they wish they could have got their money back because they wouldn't have given it to you. Don't give me a gift. Don't give me a gift and then not be cheerful about giving me the gift. You know, mercy is a gift. When you give mercy, when you give grace, when God gives us grace and mercy, that's a gift. But he does it with cheerfulness, right? He doesn't, because otherwise, why would I do it? And when we give gifts to our kids, we give it with cheerfulness. Otherwise, why would we do it? One thing that I've learned again as a parent is that you get joy out of giving your kids gifts for special occasions, birthdays, and all these other holidays. And you do it with a cheerful heart because it brings joy to your heart to see them happy. It brings joy to your heart to give them something that maybe they didn't earn. And we have to do that in our business. We have to be cheerful when we give praise to our employee that did something good, but then we also have to be cheerful when we give mercy to the employee that did not deserve what we were giving them, but we gave it to them anyway. We have to be cheerful when we give mercy to the customer who was having a bad day. They came in, they got irate, but we gave them mercy, but do it cheerfully. And if we learn how to do these things, if we learn how to practice the fruits of the spirit, if we learn how to utilize the spiritual gifts that God has already put inside of us, it is mind blowing how well our businesses can do, right? And what does that have to do with your purpose, though? So let's backtrack a little bit. I believe that all of us already have within us all of the things that we need to achieve the goals that we already have in our heart, right? The desire is not ironic. The things that you desire, the things that you love, that they are on your heart because God put them on your heart. If you are a person who, again, like we go back to those spiritual gifts. You like teaching, you like helping people. Maybe you like creating things, you like building stuff, you like fixing things. Those are all purpose purpose driven things that are placed inside of us. But see, the world will have us think that we have to do something other than what we love in order for us to make money, in order for us to be wealthy, in order for us to be successful, in order for us to be happy. That's the reason why we have people who are working in jobs that they don't like, and then all of a sudden we call it a midlife crisis because they determined that they didn't like this thing that they spent 10, 20, 30 years doing, and now they switched it up and they start doing something that seemed mediocre to everybody else, but they love it, right? Doctors do this all the time. You have a person, they went all the way through medical school, they were a practicing doctor, a practicing surgeon, a practicing whatever it is. And then after 10, 20 years of doing it, they determined that I never liked doing it in the first place. Because the reason why they did it was for the wrong reason. You know, in real estate investing, everybody that I talk to, normally the first thing out of their mouth is, I need to make some money. I'm trying to build some wealth, right? And that's a good reason to get into real estate investing. But if you can have that as a goal, but then find the things that you love to do, find the things that you're already passionate about, the things that you already have a drive for, and incorporate those into your business plan, oh man, you'll be surprised how great your business will be. And the reason why your business will be great is because you'll be doing something that you love to do. I enjoy talking. Bunny and I, we enjoy talking. We tell people all the time, like, don't get me started talking about real estate, because I can talk to you for hours about real estate investing. I can talk to you for hours about floor plan ideas. I can talk to you for hours about market analysis, about ways to take a deal that seems like a bad deal and how to turn it into a good deal, how to see through the trash and clutter in a place so that you can see what the vision is for it, right? That is something that I am passionate about. I enjoy fixing stuff. I love fixing stuff. I am a Facebook Marketplace junkie sometimes, because I will find stuff on Facebook Marketplace. People say it's broken. I will get it and I will fix it for sometimes free. And now I got a item that works because I enjoy, but it's because I enjoy fixing stuff, right? And because I enjoy fixing stuff, when I go into properties and I'm looking for flips or for wholesale deals, whatever it is, I enjoy that process. I enjoy the process of going into the dismantled house and being able to look past the dry rotted walls and the caved in floor and seeing the vision of what this property can be on the backside, because that is something that I'm passionate about. Somebody else, you're passionate about marketing. But guess what? You can use that in your wholesaling business. You can use that in your real estate investing business. One of the biggest downfalls for most realtors is that they suck at marketing. But if they had somebody who was passionate about marketing that they collab with, you would sell more properties. You would get more clients. And so what are the things that one so ask yourself this, right? Anybody who's made it to this point in this video, ask yourself this. What are the things that I'm passionate about? And how can I incorporate the things that I'm passionate about into the business that I am currently doing, or into the business that I would prefer to be doing? If you're working a job and you don't like getting up in the morning going into that job, you don't like getting up in the people that you work with, you don't like the task you have to do at the job. Maybe you don't like the outcome. Maybe you don't like what your company does. And, like I'm not going to go into that. Maybe you don't like what your company does, though. And if that's the case, then ask yourself, what is it that I love? And how can I use this to build wealth, to get myself out of this situation where I don't want to be at? How can you use the things that you love to leave your 9 to 5? If you are a person and you love cooking, and you don't mind cooking for a living, and you are currently working at Kroger or at some insurance company sitting at a desk all day, but you would prefer to be, you know, starting a restaurant up, how can you do that? How can you take that passion and how can you use it to free yourself? Because I talked about we're a servant, we are meant to be servants, but there's a big difference between being a servant and feeling like you're in bondage. And for some of us, our job makes us feel like we're in bondage. You got to ask permission to take vacation. You got to ask permission to come in late. You got to ask permission to go to the doctor. You got to ask permission to go to your kids recital. Like, that's bondage. That is a form of modern day bondage. They just called it something different. They gave you a paycheck, but it's bondage. If you don't enjoy it, then find a way to get out of it. And chances are you already have the seed buried inside of you. If you're a person who loves music, how can you use music to free yourself from the bondage that you're already facing? If you Again, if you're a person who love real estate, how can you use real estate to free yourself from the bondage that you're already experiencing? If you're a person who loves real estate, but then you picked the wrong niche in real estate, so you love real estate, but then you went and became a realtor, and then you found out that um, you don't like going out to do showings, How can you use real estate to get yourself out of real estate? Can you become an investor agent? Can you become an investor? Can you become a private money broker? Can you become a private money lender? Can you become a property appraiser? Can you become a contractor? Are there things that you would prefer to be doing in that business that you aren't doing right now? If you're a doctor, but you don't like the working in the ER, is there, but you enjoy holistic health, can you take that passion for holistic health and use it to help people and then free yourself from the bondage of having to be on call at the ER all the time? If you are a Fortune 500 executive and you're stuck in meetings all day, but you don't like it, but what you really enjoy is building up businesses and getting them to be profitable, how can you utilize the skills that you have and the thing that you enjoy to free yourself from the bondage of being stuck in the boardroom? Maybe you need to be a consultant. Maybe you should go around and consult with businesses who are either failing or who are not getting the maximum potential for their sales and teach them ways to build their business up. I got a friend from church. We do a men's prayer call on Wednesday evenings, and he works for like Blue Cross Blue Shield, I think. And one of his job is going out and finding ways to help the company make more money. How can they save money? He's an analyst that goes out and collects data, and then he comes back with a solution to help the company make money. And when he was telling me about that, I was like, man. But he loves his job now. He loves his job, so he's not trying to leave. But I was telling him, I was like, man, if you ever wanted to leave that job, you could go and do that for so many different places. Like, I can think of a bunch of different places that would pay you to come and tell them how to get more revenue or how to save money that they're wasting right now currently. And doing something like that could be the difference between you having a mental breakdown because you don't like what you do and you having the best time of your life because I get to do my job, but then I also get to spend time with my family. I get to go on vacations whenever I want to. I get to work while I'm on vacation. Listen to y'all, I work while I'm on vacation. Bunny and I, when we go on vacation, we go driving for dollars wherever we go. We go looking at real estate deals wherever we go because we enjoy it. It's not like we're working, but we enjoy what we do. So like doing it while we're on vacation is not that big of a deal for us. And sometimes it makes the vacation better. Like we get to spend, maybe we'll extend our trip because we got another property we want to go look at the next day and we couldn't get into it. And it's like, okay, it's a win-win. The kids get to stay another day in the resort. We get to go out and look at more properties and everybody's happy. So how can you take the passions, how can you take the seeds that God has already placed in you and use them to build your business, to build your wealth, to build your family, to build a sense of happiness for yourself? It's 3 o'clock in the morning right now as I'm recording this video. And for some of you guys, you're getting up and getting ready to go to work. Some of you guys are at work getting ready to get off work. Some of you guys are up right now because you're looking for work. If you're a person who don't have a job right now, you're looking for work, I'm telling you, write down the things that you love doing, the things that you are happy to do, and then figure out a way to make money doing those things. If you don't know, drop it in the comments, man. Let us help you out. Let us help you out. Let other viewers help you out. You'll be amazed at how much insight people have when it comes down to this. But don't waste your time doing things that you don't love doing when you've already been given a passion for something. Okay, you were placed on this earth with a limited amount of time to be in this physical form, and you don't want to waste it. You don't want to waste it on the mundane because you got to pay bills. Yes, you got to pay bills, but it doesn't mean that you got to pay bills by doing something that you don't like doing. Okay, you can pay bills and do something that you love doing, because if you love to do it, you're going to do it better. You're going to do it with love, with patience, with faithfulness, with all of those fruits of the spirit that I talked about. You will find ways to do that because you love it. The person who loves cooking, who absolutely loves cooking, I'm not talking about just the cook who's cooking because he has to cook. The person who loves cooking, they love to see the reaction of people when they eat their food because it's the joy for them. The craftsman who loves to build things, they build things because they love the reaction that people get out of getting that dresser or the renovation to their home. Furniture makers, clothing designers, they get a boost out of people putting their clothes on and saying how good it felt, how much they loved the material, how much the fit was great. But not only that, because they love doing it and they do it with all their might, people are willing to pay them more for those items because they put love into it. Everybody loves something that has love mixed into it. And your business doesn't have to be any different. Your job doesn't have to be any different. Okay. Find things that you love to do. Start writing down all the things you love to do, and then cross out the things that you love to do, but you don't want to do them to make money. There are things that I love to do. I enjoy cooking. I don't want to cook to make money. I enjoy teaching. I have no desire to be a school teacher. I love real estate, and I will always do real estate. I enjoy fixing things. I love going and figuring out how to fix things. I love talking to people about fixing their issues with their business. Somebody that start telling me, "Oh yeah, I got this problem," and like my mind just instantly start looking for solutions because I like fixing stuff. And I enjoy it. So because I enjoy it, like I get excited helping people fix their problems or fix their item, and when I say I like fixing stuff, I like fixing actual physical things. Like I am the electronics guy that will take apart something to figure out what's wrong with it, and I'm either gonna fix it or I'm gonna make it work alternatively because I can understand, how the circuitry work and stuff like that. But I say all that to say you already have everything that you need to do whatever it is that you want to do. You just don't know it. You aren't aware of how much you already have. You aren't aware of how much is already inside of you. How much those desires, those burning desires that are already inside of you, already have everything that you need to get started. If it's real estate investing, you already have all of the resources you need. You already probably know all of the people that you need to know. And if you don't personally know all the people you need to know, you still know them indirectly because I know a lot of people. And if you know me, if you hit me up because you need help with something, now guess what? You have access to the people that I know. You have access to the lenders that I know if you ask me about lenders. Now, I may not just share the information because I got a lot of stuff to talk about, but if you ask, you'll receive. If you don't ask, you don't receive. So ask for what you need, utilize what you have, and watch how your business and how your life start to change for the better. Um, I'm just happy that you guys got on this call with me today, and I hope that something that I said resonates with somebody. I hope that this was exciting to you guys, like it was exciting to me. Again, like the gardener in me just kind of really had me going. Let me see. Somebody said, "Do I have any advice for non-Americans?" I'm gonna read some. I'm gonna look through these questions real quick in the comments and see if I got a lot of spam. Apparently, somebody said, "Sup, darkness." Yeah, thank you. Tall, dark, and handsome. Have you acquired wealth yourself, or have you just read this? No, I am constantly acquiring more wealth. So, I have read a lot of stuff too. So, yeah. Have you thought about creating infrastructure, creating a shopping mall, build a community that's true power over your community? Yeah, so yeah, we're definitely planning to develop some stuff. We are in the process right now. We're building a student housing. We're buying a duplex turned into student housing currently. That is our current project. We also buying 4 properties that we're going to be putting on Section 8, providing some low income housing solutions. We are currently looking for land to develop some affordable housing solutions on as well. Because again, we're going to solve problems for people, and by solving their problem, we solve our problem. We want to make passive income. We solve somebody else's problem who needs to have an affordable home to live in, and it's a win-win situation. Now, will we build a shopping mall? Maybe at some point. Will we create infrastructure? Sure. If we bought a big piece of land and we were going to build, a subdivision or apartment complex, and because of that we had to upgrade the infrastructure, we would definitely do that. Bunny and I always talk about our main goal in real estate investing is to have a self-contained community. And when we say self-contained community, I mean a community where there's a grocery store already there, there's daycare already there in the community with walkable sidewalks, with activities for the kids, all of those different things. Because I grew up in a small town where it was very community based, so everybody kind of looked out for everybody. And Bunny also spent time in a small town when she was in Germany, when her mom was stationed in Germany. Well, they were stationed in Germany, and she always talks about how the village was very communal, like it was very communal, community based, and that is something that we both desire to see here in America, of course. Would we invest outside of America at some point? You know, we've been looking at some stuff in Ghana, been looking at some stuff in Belize. They got a lot of tourism going on in those areas right now. So yeah, we're definitely all over the place looking for deals. We're always looking for deals. We network a lot. We partner a lot. So if you're somebody out there who got a deal and you don't know how to get the financing, you don't know how to start the projects, we partner. So yeah, you know, we're using our spiritual gifts. We're trying to every day figure out what those gifts are. How do we uh, improve on them? How do we improve ourselves? And how do we open our mind up to be able to see the things that have already been placed in the world for us? Because it says that it's in the nature of God to hide a thing, but it's the nature of man to seek them out. So we have to be willing to seek out the answers and seek out those gifts and seek out how to put them together. But don't be mistaken. It starts with prayer. So when you get off of this call, pray about it and watch how God works. I'm gonna get ready to get off this call because it is 3:22 and I have a networking event to get up and go to at 8 in the morning. But I really wanted to make this video for you guys, and again, I hope that somebody got something out of this video, even if it was just one piece of information. I pray that it hits hard and that you run with it, and you know, in no time, in a short period of time, I just pray that it blossoms and you're just shocked and amazed on how great things are going for you. But find those spiritual gifts, find those fruits of the spirit, practice them in your life, and just watch how God works. All right, y'all. Peace out. Love you guys, and I'll see you later today. All right.